Hello, my name is Apple of Doom and welcome to another Geometry Dash building video. You know, I'd start the video looking at this page, but this looks really sad. 0 messages, 0 friend requests, 0 likes. Like, guys, come on, hop on it. Send me a message, add me as a friend on here. Come on, please, do it. Do it now. In the last episode, we added in a couple things, including this table. We added in the portcullis, and we added in a lot more detail into this section. Now, in this episode, I hope to continue on with adding in a lot more detail in this area, especially now that I know what I want this area to be. But between episodes, I actually did something a little crazy. So, you know how I mentioned I made these flag designs? Well, I shrunk it down, edited it, and kind of animated the whole thing. I don't know if you can see, but the way it works is that I've teleported each frame down. This is a frame by frame hand animation, and it looks really cool. So here's how it looks in motion. It flaps in the wind. I kind of tried to follow like a frame by frame animation, but kind of interpret it in my own way. And it adds so much life in this section. And so I think I might add another one up here. I'm not sure. Also, what I want to do up here is add in some of the clouds because it looks kind of bare every time you go up. But now that we've got the flags in place, I can move on to adding in the kind of smaller hanging flags into this area. Because what I really want to do in this area is add in like a mid-ground with like some columns and some other details and things. And then I can mess around with the stained glass windows, which I started and just never finished in classic me fashion. Because as I'm kind of building through this whole level, I'm starting to realize how much I actually need to do. Because currently I'm kind of working on this area. I still need to add a lot of detail into these previous two areas, but they look fine for now, so I haven't touched them. But after I detail up this whole area, there are 2 more sections I want to add. So this is going to be a much larger project than I initially imagined. This is going to take me a much longer amount of time, which isn't great because I've already been working on it for the past 3 months. I think I started this in November, and I'm recording this at like the end of January, start of February. So this has taken a long time, and there's still a long way to go. But to start us off, I think I'll place a start position, our classic spot over here, and just continue working on this area. Now, I mentioned before, I want this to be a kind of storage room, so I think it might be a good idea to start with that. So I think the first thing I want to add is a couple of barrels. I think it'd be a cool idea to have like a kind of, I don't know, not necessarily a full distillery, but something that relates to it. All right, this layer looks to be free, so I think I'll create them on here. So I'll create a couple that are kind of face on and a couple that are on the side. I think that'd be a good way to go about it. The only problem is I don't know how to get the kind of wood texture that I really want. If I do something like that, I'm gonna have to try and make sure I get all the layering right as well. I think I'll do that, and then I'll scale this up a little bit and put this behind, and then add a little like metallic strip behind it. If I do something like that, does it have depth? I don't know, depth. Sound like Daffy Duck. There we go. I could do something like this that looks kind of barrel-like. I'm not sure if I should add wood overlay because I think that'll look kind of weird. Like if I take these kind of wooden pieces, right? Actually, what I could do is make a circular kind of design like this and then shrink it like all the way down. Doesn't quite work out how I want it. I also want to be transparent, so I'll just put it on a group and then make it transparent the lazy way with an alpha trigger. Is that noticeable that I've just kind of left the corners? I really hope not. I think that looks like actually fine. The only problem is I should not have put this all on the same layer. Yeah, I think that's probably the best I'm gonna get it. Then I can do like a little tap on top of it, and I got to do the thing that holds it in place as well. So if I do something like this, I can have these kind of little wooden supports on them. There we go, and that'll kind of hold it in place. Does that look like it's holding it in place? Kind of. Do this kind of thing as like a support hold structure. There we go, that looks like it's like holding it up, right? I think these 2 little pieces here are a little too bright. Do something like that. Yeah, it's a lot better. There we go, that looks like a little barrel holder. And then what I can do is I can add a tap to it, and I can add, I don't know, like a little blip thing on top that kind of holds it in place. Some barrels have these for like some reason, so I may as well add it to mine. Oh, I got pins and needles in my foot. Ow, ow, ow. There we go, that looks like a little tap thing, right? It looks a little dark. I might brighten it all up a little. I don't know, you can't really tell it's a tap, can you? All right, I think that looks good. There's a truck outside my house for some reason. I hope it is not destroying the microphone quality or the audio quality. How come when I zoom out, it creates these like little gaps in this? That is really annoying me. I'm just gonna push these both in by one, and hopefully that'll fix everything. God, this truck is annoying. I can see it on the microphone, like picking up very slightly. I'm gonna boost that to piss you all off. All right, I kind of darkened it up a bit, but that should look a lot better. So I think what I can do is maybe have one like here, and then like one over here, and then I can put some other barrels in between them. I feel like it's gonna be a little hard to create, but barrels from the side kind of bulge out a little, and I feel like I can't exactly use like this piece, you know, because the warp on it is like fucked up. Like I wish I could like stretch it like that, but you can't. You actually can't. It just like does weird shit. So whatever, what I'll probably do is take these smaller pieces and kind of rotate them in an arc. So maybe something like this. Does that look like a barrel-like arc? I'll also try and make them the same width as these. Actually, I feel like it's too tall. I'm gonna squish it. Right, this isn't the most terribly beautiful thing in the world, but I think it will do. I can do this, and then on a separate layer, I can just add in like these sort of pieces that will be the kind of bands that go around them. Wow, that looks bad. Oh God, why does it look like that? I think it's just because it's untextured. Like if I get some crispy texture on it, it should look fine. Wow, this is not working. Well, that's definitely added some texture to it, but it still looks bad. Also, what happened to these? Oh, I laid them wrong. That's what happened. Why does this just look awful? How am I fixing this? This looks like garbage. Actually, you want to hear the stupidest way I've got of fixing this? All right, so I added a little bit of like white sheen to it, and it should move as you like go past it. It did not, because I had the wrong thing. All right, does this work? I think what I also might do is just tone it down a little bit. I actually think I'll remove ease in and out. I don't think it's helping. But otherwise, that kind of helps fix it up. I think another big problem is just all this needs shading. I hate that I've chosen an art style that requires shading, because like the glow pieces in this game fucking suck to use as shading. Ah! Alright, I have an idea. What if I do this, and then I get some glow pieces on a layer above? Oh my God. Look how much depth that adds. That's actually crazy. Like, look at this one compared to this one. Because of how these are layered, I can also do it underneath the barrel as well. Just adds insane depth. What the fuck? I love glow. I love GD Cologne. You know what? I'm gonna do something also a little crazy. Just add a touch of glow to the tap to make it stand out a little more. That helps a lot. Hot damn. Okay, but I don't know how you're supposed to shade this. Maybe if I add this one from before and just kind of get into the middle and then stretch it out like crazy. That does add a lot. Although it's a little too bright, so I might add it to this group that kind of makes it a little more transparent. Yeah. Oh, damn, that's crazy. And what I can do is make that one be 113. Oh, I may have fucked it up a little. This is gonna go on yet another layer. I don't know if that quite works. Looks a little uneven is the problem. All right, I think I added some much needed shading to the whole barrel here. Doesn't look quite as good as the barrels on either side, but it works, I think. I think it works. And what I can do is take all this and also stack it. There we go, stacked barrel. I can also probably put it on its side, though that looks a little strange. So maybe not. Actually, I will. And just do something like that. And I'll remove the little shine from it, because I don't think the one lying down really needs it. I think I could probably do something like that. And then I'll grab some of these boxes. Maybe one from over here that I made earlier. Maybe I'll add this one, remove it from all its groups. Maybe add it here and just have another one that's like vertical like that. Does that work? I think that's a little too long, so I'm gonna get rid of these kind of intermediate pieces. There we go. I think that looks pretty decent. Now we've got our little collection of doohickeys and doodads. Looking at it, these are a little too close together. There we go. And I can make it look dangerous by adding in some like wooden spikes or something. Have I made a spike design in that kind of texture? No, I haven't. That's disappointing. What I'll do is I think I'll take this, bring it over here, and I'll give it that wood texture. You know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna do something like this. I think that'll look decent, although a little basic. It needs to have little friends around it, I think. Okay, the spikes don't work on the barrels, but they work there, I reckon. I'll just have to make invisible spikes across here. I don't know. Maybe if I just like, this is probably the corniest way I could go about it, but like, I think that works. There we go. That looks pretty decent. All right, with these kind of assets made, I think what I'm gonna do is here, there's like a weird gap going on. And what I think I might do is take some wood from here. Because if I take this, what I can do is I can make like a barrel shelf. The way I'm thinking about going about that is if I grab like this, and this, maybe not the top little bit, this as well. I'll just fix it up a little later. I can put this in here. Does it fit? Barely does not. Okay, I'm gonna try and sort these out so that these line up a little better. I think what needs to happen is if this needs to become 3 from here, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. Why can't I select these? Huh? What? Huh? Hello? What's happening? What? Huh? I'm deleting it, and they're just not, like, deleting. Hang on. Like, if I take that and delete it, it's still there. What? I've never seen this glitch before. Okay, let's back out and go back in. Okay, now it's working. What the hell? That was bizarre. I've never seen that happen before. Actually, I just realized that wouldn't work. My idea isn't gonna work anyways. What I might do is just push all of this over just a tad like this. Maybe I can push this over by, like, half a step. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're cooking. Okay, I could do something like this, right? That's our barrel there. Stretch this so that it fits in a little better. And then I can add little planks that go in between it. There we go. Now we got like a shelf of barrels. Although I feel like it should go one more up. I'm worried that won't quite look good. Wait, where's my background gone? Oh, there it is. What happened? Huh? Why does the background just disappear sometimes? That's weird. Why is my game just like breaking today? That kind of clips through it, so maybe I won't do that extra layer. Actually, if I just put this on top of here, that should work, right? And maybe just like a smaller wood plank. Okay, and now the background's back. What? I think that looks good. It just needs a backing, I think. Like, if I get, like, these wooden pieces, it will look a lot better. There we go. I think that looks quite nice. And then all I just need to do is add some collision. I'll make it all out of spikes, just because I don't want people landing on the top. Actually, I could have people land on the top. That could be really cool, actually. If I do something like that, and then just have, like, that. Do y'all see the vision? There we go. And then I can just hide that. And then you could land on the barrel if you really wanted to. This is, like, an easy 2-star level, right? So, I feel like you should be able to just kind of have fun with it. Yeah, doesn't really matter. It's fine. The only problem I have now is that this is all a little too wooden. There's too much brown going on. It needs some variance in color. It just doesn't look quite right having it all brown. Maybe I can add that structure over there. I think that'll be a better fit for it, and I should put something else there, like maybe a stack of like green leaf pieces or something like that. Yeah, that looks awesome. That looks great. I'm very happy with that. I could get some of the topiary pods. That might work, actually. If this is like a storage area, right? And it's storing some pots, some potted plants. And then I can just like rotate, change brightnesses and other things. And oh, this one can be darker. And oh, this one can be brighter. Blah, 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 blah. Why are these all floating? All right, I'm gonna redo the placement of all these. I'm worried the spider will kind of clip through it, so I'm just gonna put this layer of things here, and then just kind of align this better. That added green does like fucking wonders. Like now if we come into this area, boom, it's got so much detail, so much character. The only thing is I could probably stack something up here. Ooh, what if I got this barrel and I just stacked 2 of them on top of each other? I think that could work. Oh, do another one of these. I could do another one of these, honestly. I think that would work very well. The only problem is this is split across like 5 million layers, so I have to copy 5 million things. Ooh, now that's a problem. Now this is kind of over that. So what I'll do is just shunt these over just a tad. There we go. Now I just gotta make sure it isn't too hard for a 2-star level. I want you to still be able to hit that green orb kind of whenever, because like newer players don't buffer. What I'm gonna do is cut out this whole section here. I can move that down and that makes things more open, like how it was before. There we go. And that helps fit kind of everything in a little bit better. I wish this reached up to like here. I feel like it's very close to being the right height, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Because I'd rather have something come down from the ceiling, I think, to kind of fill out the space, because this space needs to be filled out. This is all filled out over here. You know what's annoying me? I want this to go up a little bit. I think I'm gonna take all this. There we go. I think that adds a little bit of extra height that this kind of area needed. You know what? Just to help distinguish it from the one that I just copied it from, I think I'll just flip this. There we go. Yeah, this area is starting to fill out pretty nicely. Yeah, look how busy this is now. That is awesome. I mean, there's still a lot of area to fill out, but for now, this is great. This is great. Very pleased with this. All right, now that I've finished detailing this all up, I think now would be a good time to add in the midground. In castles, you'll see they usually have a lot of pillars, and what I want to do is have these pillars that kind of go across the background, and I'll attach some like torches and banners and other sort of things that look like that. I think that would look really neat, but it's going to take a bit, so I think I'm going to do it in time-lapse form. So let's go. Hello and welcome to the time-lapse. I skipped doing a time-lapse last episode because I was in the moment. I was really like busy putting everything together, but I thought I'd do a time-lapse for this one. And boy, was this one an interesting one. So the whole point of this was to put together the columns that I wanted to put in the midground. I really wanted to add some extra kind of depth to everything. I feel like I've said depth like a million times this episode, but it's true. It really does help, make everything feel way more alive. And so I did something similar to what I did in my previous level, Ephemeral, or Ephemeral because I misspelled it. But what I did there was I had a section with a bunch of very Greek-inspired columns, and so I pretty much used the same kind of technique here, where you have a bunch of lines, and then you have light and dark shading on either side, which makes it look rounded. And then after that, I attached some lights to them. So I took torches. I took the torch design I made for the Gothic chandeliers that I made in the last episode, and edited them a little to look a bit different because I needed them to stick out a little more, attach them to the wall and everything. I think they turned out pretty good. And then I added in the banners that I've been making off camera. I've spent a lot of work just putting together all these sort of flags and things off camera, just because it's so boring and I don't think it would work well in an episode. And it also requires a lot of like feedback and that sort of thing that I've been getting off Discord and Reddit and all that sort of thing. So I added in these flags, and they look too pristine, they look too clean. So I added in a lot of shading and little particles and things to make it look a bit messier, a little bit more messed up. I ended up shrinking everything because it looked a little too big, because again, I want this to be in the mid-ground, so I can't have everything be too big and in your face. But after that, I worked on these kind of support structures. So you'll notice in a lot of castle levels that they'll have big archways kind of over the top of everything. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to try and do that. I don't remember the level it was in, but there was a series of archways that didn't connect to the roof. It was kind of off, like, as its own structure. And I quite liked that. And I tried to do that at first, but I found it didn't quite fit the build. It didn't quite suit the build I was going for. So I ended up kind of readjusting them to fit the roof and then lining it up so that the when the roof kind of stretches out of the spider part, it goes up to that as well. And I think that turned out pretty alright. I also recolored the wood panel textures I've been using a lot to grey to add these kind of like brick textures to them. And I think that turned out really good. I'm really happy with how that looks. You'll see at first I tried to do them as just kind of, two pillars connected separately, but I didn't think it looked quite right, so I connected them all up and it ended up looking a lot better. So I'm really happy with how this looks. I think it just kind of ties everything so much better back together. If you have any more suggestions for what I should do with this area, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. I'll definitely be looking. And yeah, with that, I think we'll get back into the rest of the building. Alright, with all that done, I think that'll be probably it for the episode. That took me way too long. Oh, actually, before we end the episode, I think what I want to do, I'm just going to cook the chicken. Look at that. Never mind, it looks burnt. I thought that was going to work. There we go. I cooked the chicken. Why did I not do that last episode? I don't know. There we go. We've got some cooked chicken. Yum, yum, yum. Anyways, that'll probably do it for this episode. I think that these pillars just add so much needed variety into the background. Like, I still got to add in all the stained glass windows and everything and a little bit of extra detail, but like, this part feels so filled out now, There's so much more detail and it's great. I love it. So I think I'll probably have one more episode where I kind of finish detailing this up and then we can start on the next section, which I'm really excited for. I know exactly what I want to do. It's just, it takes so much time to actually do it. Anyways, if you liked the episode, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Just give me any feedback. Feedback is great. I love it. Don't forget, if you haven't watched the other episodes, I'll put a playlist up on the screen now. And before we go into the showcase, I just want to remind you that the song is copyrighted, so I'm going to have to put my own music over the top of it. I hope you had a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.